In one of the most surprising presidential races in ages, billionaire Donald Trump and Tea Party maverick Ted Cruz have emerged as the Republican dynamic duo. They split the first two states, leaving a crucial rubber match in South Carolina. Cruz tells CBN News the math is simple.
I think this is more and more becoming a two-person race. It's between me and Donald Trump. What Iowa and New Hampshire have demonstrated is the only candidate who can beat Donald Trump is me.
South Carolina is a virtual treasure trove of evangelical voters. Conservative Christians make up more than half of the GOP primary electorate. And that's good news for Ted Cruz because he needed those evangelicals to win in Iowa. And now the question in South Carolina is, can he pull off the repeat? He's hoping to pull it off again by encouraging South Carolina pastors to engage the flock. Our CBN cameras were there for this private get-together.
Without exaggeration, I believe the men and women in this room, in the circle of influence you have, and the people that listen and trust your judgment, your wisdom, your guidance, your counsel, the men and women in this room have the ability to change the outcome of the South Carolina primary, and in doing that, to change the outcome of the presidential election, and in doing that, to change the outcome, the direction of this country.
But Cruz's push to mobilize Christians is under scrutiny. First, Ben Carson complained that the Cruz campaign used questionable tactics to discourage his Iowa supporters from voting for him. Now, Marco Rubio and Donald Trump are not happy with how Cruz is framing their views on the Supreme Court decision that legalized same-sex marriage.
Several Republican candidates, including my two leading competitors in this state, said publicly that decision was settled. It was the law of the land. We must surrender, accept it, and move on. Now, those are word for word Barack Obama's talking points.
At the time, Trump and Rubio did call the decision the law of the land, but disagreed with the ruling, so they don't appreciate the Obama comparison. Trump took to Facebook saying, quote, "How can Ted Cruz be an evangelical Christian when he lies so much and is so dishonest?" Aboard his campaign bus, Rubio had a few choice words, too.
Ted Cruz is on the stump talking about you and President Obama have the same talking points on marriage.
Yeah, it's very disappointing that Ted says these things. I mean, it's just not true. I really think it's become really disturbing that Ted is willing to make things up out of cold cloth just to win an election.
What do you want to say to some folks that are starting to question, in essence, your character, your Christian character?
If others want to impugn my character, they can do that. I will sing their praises. But I do think people are seeing the way we're running our campaign, with integrity, with character, focusing on issues, focusing on substance, not going into the gutter. If I were to stray, the first person who would hold me accountable is my dad.
As that battle plays out, Jeb Bush is going after South Carolina Christians with tough talk about being a president ready to battle over nominating conservative Supreme Court justices.
The left's going to go after whoever we appoint, and we better be ready. And this will be war.
Bush hopes to claim the establishment lane, but he's going to need to fight off John Kasich, who did well in New Hampshire. And there's also Rubio trying to put that poor debate performance in his rearview mirror.
Adversity is relative. You know, yes, we didn't do as well in New Hampshire as we wanted to. But real adversity, for some people around the world, are things much deeper and worse than that. So, you know, God is going to provide. He'll either provide a way around it or he'll provide a way through it.
It's a good thing God has it under control because this race has been out of control from the beginning. David Brody, CBN News, in Greenville, South Carolina.